Hey everyone, Tim with Collect Jurassic. Hope you're ready to unbox even more Jurassic World Dominion toys. We've been looking at a lot of new Dominion toys on the channel, but today we're looking at Roar Strikers. Really exciting. Of course, if you've been tuning in, we were able to get early looks at Dominion T-Rex, Therizinosaurus, Legacy Collection figures, and now we're looking at these Roar Strikers, which have some really cool new repaints, really cool new species. As far as repaints go, we have this Trike, Ankylosaurus back there. New species, we have Scorpios Venator here, as well as Rajasaurus. So we'll be unboxing, reviewing, doing comparisons, all that good stuff that we usually do in our reviews today with these figures. And I'm really excited because this is probably one of Mattel's most popular assortments since they had the line that started out with Roarivores. Are these mid-sized, affordable figures that have action mechanisms and then electronics too. So really exciting stuff, and I want to get them out of the box and actually demo all that stuff for everyone today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get going with Ankylosaurus here. Let's go ahead and take in that awesome Dominion packaging. Of course, we have the Jurassic World Dominion logo front and center, also on the top of the box. That gorgeous T-Rex render. I love this new Dominion packaging. Won't say it's my favorite Mattel packaging ever. I mean, we've had some really cool ones. Primal Attack was great. Dino Escape was great. I mean, they've always done good stuff, but I do really dig this T-Rex render on the Dominion and this sort of amber texture that we see throughout all the packaging. Also have a nice big Dominion Rex on here. And on the other side, we have a Pyroraptor render that looks awesome. I love the movement of this thing. Can't wait to get my hands on an actual Pyroraptor figure and quit looking at artwork and start looking at toys. And then on the back of this, of course, we have illustration of how the dinosaur works. We also have what else is in this wave, and then that scan app. Sorry, not scan command. The scan app for Jurassic Facts also demoed here too. So, which is a really cool app. I just updated yesterday, so I have yet to scan these new guys in. Let's go ahead and get Ankylosaurus out, though. Looks like we have to do a little bit of snipping of plastic, so bear with me as I do this as quickly but carefully as possible. I always like to be careful so I'm not, damaging the figure while I get these pieces out live on camera. It's always a little more awkward because trying to keep things in frame. Got one more leg. Bear with me, folks. And this leg's going to be hard to get. I know I might be able to just pull her out of there. Yep, let's be able to pull her out all together. Get her legs fixed. There we go. All right, go ahead and put the box aside. There is the Roar Strikers Ankylosaurus, new for Dominion. I love the colors on this thing, actually. I mean, it's definitely different than what we've gotten before. Much darker. I think we have like a gray Ankylosaurus. That was the first one. And then we had a really bright green one. And then, of course, we had Bumpy, which I do have handy. Bumpy was a great figure, though. These are basically the exact same figure if you don't count the head. Bumpy's head has one of the horns a little bit smaller to match the show, but otherwise they're the exact same figure. Obviously, this new version has its new action feature, which for Roar Strikers, it's always going to be pressing down on the figure. I can show you right here on the box too. So you press down on the figure, and pressing down on the figure versus the hips is what makes the action features work for all of these, which is what we'll demo here. But the Ankylosaurus, I think, is actually really cool the way it works. If you just press here, it actually swings. Which that's probably the most intuitive the way the Ankylosaurus toy has ever been from Mattel. I mean, they've had buttons on the back you press. They've had, I think Bumpy had like this, Bumpy had like this switch. So, it was took a little more effort to kind of make the figure do what you wanted. But in this case, kids can just press on this thing and it's ready to battle, which I think for toys, that's all you really need is an easy action feature, especially for something like a swinging tail like this. You can hear the Ankylosaurus sounds pretty accurate to me from the movie. Articulation wise, the legs do move independently of the action feature. I was worried that they were going to be bonded together, so they had to move both at the same time. But no, you can make it run. They don't have the same range of movement, I would say, as you normally would expect, at least on the Ankylosaurus. The front legs have that same movement, the same movement you would expect, though. They're almost on like a rotating / pivoting joint that lets them move a little bit more freely in and out and back and forth. Then the head on the Ankylosaurus is on a nice sort of semi-ball joint that lets you rotate it around, look left and right a little bit. So, you know, nothing too crazy since most of the figure is a kind of an armored tank. And the, you know, one thing I want to point out is the paint application on this one. I really like the yellow eyes. It definitely sets it apart from some of the other previous Ankylosaurus releases. At least for me, it does. I mean, you can see Bumpy here has the darker color eyes. I didn't grab all the other Ankylosaurs for this review, but I believe this is the only one that has kind of a brighter colored eye like this. So, and you know, again, these muted darker colors are a lot of fun too. So, and this darker kind of beigey horns too versus some of the lighter gray horns. So that's Bumpy, or not Bumpy, that's Ankylosaurus. Again, I really like the action feature here. That's probably my favorite part about this new version is how easy that action feature is. And also, if you could tell in the video, there's a hidden DNA tag right here, which we'll see if I can get it open on camera. I don't have like nails right now, and this stuff is not easy to pry up. So nope, not gonna be able to get that open without getting some sort of tool or something. Is there an action figure? Is there an action figure I can use? Here, I was gonna do a size comparison. We can use this guy's gun. We'll use him for size comparison later, but that's how big he is next to Bumpy. Let's disarm him, or sorry, next to Ankylosaurus. Let's disarm him and see if we can use his gun to get this DNA tag out. Nope. It is simply not rigid enough to get out. Again, I don't have any nails. Otherwise, this would be super easy. We'll work on it later. That is Ankylosaurus. Let's go ahead and move on to Triceratops. Hopefully, we have better luck with its DNA tag than Ankylosaurus here. I like how I keep calling it Bumpy. That's effective branding, Camp Cretaceous. If I can't look at an Ankylosaurus figure without calling it Bumpy, that's well done. So let's go ahead and get to the Triceratops here. Same packaging as the Ankylosaurus. You know, we got the Dominion branding on all that. The Pyroraptor. Got the illustration on the back showing how the action feature works. The other figures, yada, yada, yada. Now this one, how is this one locked in here? Oh, looks like it's got ties just on the back legs. And we also have to put the tail on for Trike here. Now this Triceratops, this has got to be the 6th or 7th Triceratops we've gotten. Again, for this review, I didn't get every single one out. It just seems like a lot of work for comparing the same exact figure over and over again. But I do like the coloration of this one myself. I don't know if everyone else will be compelled to buy another Triceratops, but for me, the paint application is something to get excited about. Oh, look, it's got locks in its feet. That's definitely new. I don't think I've ever seen a Triceratops figure that has these locks in its feet. That's a new packaging style for Triceratops. Must be worried about it getting stolen. See, it has those pegs in its feet, and then we simply attach the tail. Boom! There is the new Roar Strikers Triceratops. Its DNA tag is way easier to get out. I'm gonna do that right off the bat. There it is. It's on the kind of the base of the tail. Slides in. Now I'm not gonna be able to get it out. Man, I should have not cut my nails before this review. There we go. Got it back out. So yeah, this is Triceratops. I love the coloration on this. It reminds me a lot of, I mean, I know it's not the same bluish tone, but something about the way it's muted really reminds me of this other Triceratops that we got. It's part of the Dino Rivals line. A little more subdued color, but you know, it really blends in nicely with this one. They look like they're kind of from the same herd. And you can see here that this is literally, well, not the exact same figure. You can see in this one, the There's no electronics for one thing, but the leg kind of bends back a little more. And this new one, the leg's a little bit more pushed down, which is obviously for the action feature. Which again, it's really easy to activate. You know, it's nothing like too crazy like Primal Attack where you move the tail and the head moves around, but there's still some innovation here with how easy it is to make this dinosaur do what you want to do. So again, kids will have a lot of fun with that, I think. Really cool stuff. Articulation wise, oh yeah, these legs move nice and smooth. I was really worried about these, that the legs were going to be locked together for the action feature, but that is thankfully not the case. You can still do all kinds of articulation with these, even though that action feature is tied to the legs. And then the front legs have a little bit of ball joint rotation, or should I say rotating and hinge, so you can make it, you know, kind of bend down a little bit more, but I'm going to keep it straight up like that. Paint wise, yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of paint on the back. All the tips of the horns are painted, the nose horn, the beak. So still giving Triceratops that paint love that it deserves, which I'm happy to see. I mean, it's a beautiful sculpt, and when they paint it, it looks, you know, just as nice. So no complaints about paint on this figure whatsoever. Just a really nice looking Triceratops. So really, really cool. And again, I have to say, I love the way that it matches this one. I mean, I know it's not a perfect match by any means, but again, they just look like they belong together. So I'll be displaying these together for sure on my shelf. So really fun stuff. All right, let's go ahead and move on to one of the new species. We'll go ahead and bust out Rajasaurus first. This is actually a species I'm familiar with. Sometimes when they throw these species out, I'm like, I have no idea. I've never heard of this dinosaur in my life. But this is one I've actually heard of. I think I've heard of it from the Jurassic World mobile game, if I recall correctly. And the defining feature on this one is going to be that singular horn on the top of its head, which is pretty fun. On the back, of course, showing how that action feature works. So we'll have to check that out once we get it out of the box. I wonder if this one's going to have that same foot locking mechanism. Looks like it. Yeah, wow. So they really upped the security on these toys, which is interesting. I certainly haven't run into a lot of stolen figures in the store. I don't know about you guys. I mean, here and there I've seen a couple broken figures, but I've never seen any figure just straight up stolen out of the packaging. So interesting about the extra security on these. I hope that extra security didn't come at the expense of, you know, something on the toy, like paint or, you know, an action feature or something like that, or a longer tail. I hope that I hope those kind of decisions get made independently of the quality of the figure, but who knows? All right, got the tail out, got the figure out. Let's go ahead and snap on. Oh, okay, didn't really snap, did it? Just kind of pushed in. Oh. Huh. Get the snap. It's not going to snap. It's just going to push in. Well, in this case, oh no, now it's snapped in. Okay, that is Rajasaurus or Rajasaurus. Again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. I'm not a paleontologist. I'm sorry. Love this guy though. I mean, I really do. If I had one just kind of like gut reaction, I wish this darker paint went all the way down to like maybe here. I understand they leave the tail sometimes one solid piece of plastic, but they could have brought the paint down definitely a little further down the back for this one. But other than that, I mean, the sculpt is super nice. I love these like kind of awkward, irregular ridges it has on the, not just the spine, but like the flanking either side of the spine that go all the way down, like all the way down to the tail, and they're like clustered down here by the tail. So really organic feeling, more like an animal. Really nice texture here on the chest. You can see like the rib cage through the skin and the folds of the skin over like the bicep or the shoulder muscle, I guess I would call it. So really cool detail. Of course, the feet all have the fun ridges on them. And then the head, we got the head too. New carnivore head for sure, not like a retool of anything. Teeth maybe look a little goofily big, but with the mouth shut, it actually looks really, really nice. And we'll go ahead and do the action feature right now. So same thing, you press down on the body and it crunches. Again, I'm really impressed with the toyeticness of these action features. Really easy to activate. But yeah, you can see the jaw clenched there. I actually like the figure a lot better with the jaw clenched. It's going to be hard for toy photographers to get that shut, but definitely looks really nice with that mouth shut and those big teeth kind of overhanging the bottom jaw. Really fun. Elsewhere, we got this really nice ridge of spines up here. And again, that horn that we talked about before we unboxed it, giving it sort of its unique defining feature as a carnivore. Articulation wise, we got the legs that move independently of the action feature, which is nice. You can still make your dinosaur run. We also have arms that are on a ball and rotation joint, so he can fly, he can wave hello, he can put his arms all the way behind him like that. So a lot of different articulation you can do with just the arms there. So really nice. Oh yeah, we gotta do the DNA tag too. Let's see if we can do this one without nails. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So there's the scan tag for the Rajasaurus. Again, above the hips. Seems like the most popular place they're putting it is right above the hips. Very nice. Rajasaurus. All right, so that just leaves Scorpio Venator, the main event. And I'm pretty excited about this one because it's kind of got this cool mustard yellow color that I really dig. A lot, actually. We don't get enough yellow Mattel dinosaurs, so excited to see this one. Also looks like a Carnotaur or a Bulldog or something too, so pretty cool. On the back, we have the figures, action feature being demoed, the rest of the assortment, yada, yada, yada. Let's go ahead and open this one up. All right. I think we just snip it a couple places. It's already roaring to get out. Any other? Oh yeah, there's one right here, it looks like. And then we just have to unlock those feet. Again, something different from Mattel in terms of packaging are these feet locks. Another challenge for me to do on camera too. So we'll go ahead and snap. Oh, stands without its tail. Go ahead and snap that tail, and that tail definitely snapped in. It's got a nice long tail, honestly. And here is Scorpio Venator. Same thing as Rajasaurus. I'm impressed with this figure. I just have to kind of ding it on how the paint just abruptly ends above the tail. I really wish, or sorry, above the hips. I really wish the paint went all the way back here, like a lot. I'm seeing these figures and I'm thinking the reason they end the paint where they do is because they want to keep the DNA tag the same color plastic as the body versus trying to match the plastic of the DNA tag to the paint they're putting on them. That's got to be what it is, because it ends on both figures right before it gets to the DNA tag. So not only is that DNA tag having an effect on the sculpt, on the sculpt, but it also, and it's a low profile, it doesn't really stick out, but it is affecting where they paint figures, which I definitely take issue with. They really should have brought the paint all the way down here, at least to the tail. I mean, if we take a look at another figure, another mustard yellow figure, one of my favorites, this is the Ankylosaurus. Really love this figure. I mean, it doesn't paint the tail either, but the paint goes almost to the base of the tail, and it works. You're not looking at it saying, I feel like that's really missing paint. But this newer figure, Scorpio Venator and Rajasaurus behind it, they definitely feel like they're missing a little paint, especially when they're not painting the claws anymore too. I mean, you can see a couple of years ago they were still painting the toe claws, so missing it on Scorpio Venator here. But let's talk about what we like about this figure. The head is awesome. I mean, look at that. It's like a Carnotaur's bulldog cousin. It's also got all of these weird, like really cool, I wouldn't call them spines, but they're sort of like, I don't know. They're like, remind me of like a horned toad or something. That's all these little layered horned ridges all over it on its legs. Again, organically arranged all the way down to the tail, all the way to the tip of the tail. So it's kind of a cool texture. I don't think we've seen on a Mattel Jurassic figure before. Then we have those horns on the head too. Action feature wise, he bites, he chomps. I don't know what dinosaur noise that's supposed to be, but it works for the carnivore. And then the articulation, you know, again, the legs are independent of the body, so you can do the iconic roar. It's got the same small arms as a Carnotaur, but they're articulated just like the Rajasaurus, so you can do all kinds of fun stuff with them. And then the head doesn't have any articulation. It's tied to the action feature, so you're gonna have to make it bite if you want it to close. I like it in this posture though, with its mouth closed. It's really cool. DNA tag. Let's see if we can get this puppy up. Yep. There is the DNA tag. Very nice. Yeah, I do like this figure. Again, I just wish the paint went a little bit lower, because I do like the dark color a lot. And I like this lighter color they used on top of it. And I just feel like if they'd brought that down and maybe splashed a little bit on the legs, this figure could be really, really nice. But we'll have to wait to see what customizers do with it to show us what could have been. But, I mean, for what it is, still pretty nice. So, new carnivores. We got 2 new carnivores here. Of course, size comparisons for the human figures. They're the same size as, you know, this price range that you've kind of come to expect. Love that biting feature. Really fun to play with. All these action features for all of these Roar Strikers are going to be really fun to play with for kids. No doubt about that. I mean, they're so easy to activate. You only need one hand. So, a fun little innovation from Mattel for sure on these Roar Strikers, making them so easy to activate. So yeah, this is a new Dominion wave. These toys were bought in Canada. There's a store up there that readily has them available. One of my followers was nice enough to offer to send them so I could review them with you all. So big shout out to you. You know who you are. But yeah, these figures will be available everywhere in the U.S. Come April 17th. That's the official street date of Dominion Toys. So a little over a month from now, you'll be able to buy these in store easily in most major stores. But super happy I could open them early, get a look at them, and share them all with you today to give off my impressions. But I think that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this review. Check out my other Dominion Jurassic toy reviews, because there's some really good stuff out there. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.